Those are the exchange rates for Asia, and now it's time for development debates, where we dig deeper into some of the questions shaping the future of China. Today we're talking about the aftermath of China's double holiday Golden Week. 8 days of record revenues at tourist destinations and logistical chaos have led to much soul-searching amongst Chinese who see the events of last week as a sign of China's bright future and a reminder of just how far it has to go. This year, China's Mid-Autumn Festival and National Day fell just 1 day apart, leading to a holiday bonanza that was either a wonderful gift or a true nightmare depending on where you stood. China's tourism industry took in record hauls for much of the, quote, Golden Week, and China's tourists found themselves stuck in terrifying pedestrian traffic jams at tourist traps around the country. Statistics show that China's top 119 scenic destinations had a total of 34.25 million visitors during the week. That's a 21% increase over the corresponding period last year. Revenue reflected the increased traffic, jumping nearly 25% to $278 million. But the blessing for vendors was a nightmare for visitors. Tourists turned into human cattle as they shuffled onto crowded mountain paths, along Great Walls and into forbidden cities. In addition to the crush of visitors, a policy lifting all highway tolls for the week led to multi-mile traffic jams throughout the country. CCTV reported that on the morning of September 30th, the Guangzhou to Shenzhen Expressway saw a 25-mile traffic jam leading up to an open toll gate. The debacle and netizens' reactions have spawned reflections on everything from China's paid vacation system to the growing expectations gap in the country. In an editorial, the Global Times seemed to plead with Chinese to lower their expectations. Quote, "The increasingly better off Chinese are demanding more quality products, better service, and infrastructure. But these cannot be reached just with money in a short period of time. The public takes it for granted that China nowadays should be as orderly as any developed country. Massive traffic jams during the holiday can greatly frustrate Chinese. While learning from advanced countries, Chinese people need to be realistic in their expectations." The article called for better communication strategies as well as an acknowledgement that China still has a long way to go. The South China Morning Post took a different tack, calling for a makeover of how China does paid vacations. Currently, the vast majority of Chinese employees have very little, if any, paid vacation. Their compensation for this comes in the form of Golden Weeks, select national holidays when they are guaranteed a break. The Post reports that the Golden Week idea came out of the 1997 Asian financial crisis as a way to stimulate domestic demand and economic growth. But even the holidays rarely represent a true decrease in work. Most companies have employees work the weekend before a holiday, essentially shuffling around their workload rather than decreasing it by much. Even so, the Golden Weeks take a major toll on the nation's transportation and tourist networks. Last month, we brought you the story of China's online train ticket booking system that crashed under the weight of 1 billion hits before the holiday. All forms of transportation are slammed during Golden Weeks, and tourist spots become what the Chinese call ren shan ren hai, a mountain and ocean of people. In response, the South China Morning Post called for increasing paid leave as an alternative to Golden Weeks. This would allow for the same economic activity without the great strains on infrastructure during the Golden Week. The Post noted that Chinese people currently have some of the least paid vacation globally and said it's time to put the decisions about when to rest and when to travel back in the hands of Chinese people. The Beijing Times chimed in with its agreement. Quote, "For a long time, the authorities have tended to take specific top-down measures towards specific social problems. People themselves know better than the authorities when they'd like to relax. They will sensibly choose the best time for traveling if given the chance."